What's up, YouTube? Blake and Mike here from Outdoor. Hi, YouTube. Blake and Mike from Outdoor North. What's up, YouTube? Blake and Mike here from Adventure North, and today we're going to talk about our top 5 lures that we've used in 2025.
So yeah, guys, ice fishing's coming up, and basically fishing is over with. We're going to be talking about our top 5 multi-species lures that we've used this year. These are not the new, this is not new lures of 2025. These are just our favorite lures and our best statistical lures that we've used this year. So what we're saying here is these are basically good for multi-species. So obviously, if you're a musky fisherman, these probably aren't inclined to use if you're musky only. But if you want to catch multi-species or you want to catch a lot of a certain fish, that's basically what we're looking for here. So we've got our top 5 most fun, best statistically, and overall our favorite lures that we've used this year. These are videos and without videos. So what that means is some of these you might have not seen us use in our videos, and some of them you have, but these are just our favorite lures and how well they've done in the whole year. Anything else, Mike?
No, just the ones that, these are lures that I've had most fun enjoying this year.
All right, let's get into the video. So, starting off the list at number 5, I have the paddle tail swim bait. What do you got, Mike?
I've got this nice little crankbait.
So, that's going to kick off the list for our number 5. Mike got the crankbait, I got the paddle tail. So, these are kind of like groupings because there are a lot of different types. You can get different types of crankbaits, different brands. Usually they're all going to be like a crankbait type lure. But right here in this case, I have the Googan Squad. Oh my goodness. Saucy swimmer. I like these a lot. These are great for bigger fish. But little one I like to use here for walleye. I got these little Crush City Mares paddle tail. Yeah, if I can bring it up to the camera. These things are really great for them bigger fish. Okay, so you can get them in a lot of different sizes. These are kind of big. These are a little bit bigger, or a little bit smaller. And these are kind of intermediate. So it depends on what species of fish you're going for, if you want to get a small paddle tail or a big paddle tail. But if you want to go, I like these for walleye a lot, especially. The bass will hit the paddle tail like crazy. Also, this is kind of off topic, but these are really good trailers for spinner baits and, am I not thinking? Spinner baits and chatterbaits, sorry. Good trailers, but they're also great to fish just on a jig head. That's how I personally like to fish mine. If you go a smaller size down, typically you're going to catch more fish. But if you go with a bigger size, you're probably going to catch bigger species of fish or just bigger fish in general. So if I'm just starting out, I would recommend smaller little paddle tails like this little mare. Bass are going to hit this thing like crazy. Walleye, pike, So great multi-species, good for catching a lot of them too. That's really all I gotta say. Like I said, you can use them as trailers for chatterbaits, spinner baits, underspins. You could Texas rig it. You could put it on a Ned rig. That's what my dad likes to do. He likes to put them as a Ned rig. And I like to use them just as a regular jig head. Yeah, so a lot of things to do with them, and they're just great overall no matter how you use them. That's gonna be my number 5, paddle tail.
All right. Like I said, this is the crankbait. This one is a so-called rattler, and as you know, I like to fish primarily with live bait. But when I do go into bass country and we start catching a few, I like to pull out the rattler and just have fun to see how many hits I get on it. So this particular color, the green with the yellow, had a lot of success, and so this is my number 5.
All right. Anything you want to talk about my paddle tail, or you just want to get to number 4?
No, I think we should get to number 4.
All right. We're getting shoved to number 4. So, number 4, I have the stick bait. You might call it a Senko. You might call it a Yum Dinger if you talk about the brand of it. But in general, these are just called a stick bait. What do you got, Mike?
I've got here a nice little spinner with a black feather tail.
Inline spinner.
Inline spinner.
I used to confuse spoons with spinners and inline spinners. So let's get that on the board. I'll let Mike talk about his spinner first. You want me to write yours for you?
I can do it.
Okay, so I have the, what do I even have? I almost forgot there. Stick bait.
Spinner. Oh, you saw inline spinner, right? inline spinner, blacktail, black feathers.
Black is a good color for pike. You go crazy for that color. I'll let Mike go first since I went first for
All right.
last one.
So this is your inline spinner, a nice shiny reflector here with a red bead and the black feather tail. These spinners come in an assortment of colors, but I've had a lot of success with the black. And like Blake was saying, Northern like to hit it. I've had even panfish go after it. So just overall nice lure to try if you are done with doing live bait.
Great for trout fishing, especially one of the biggest lures for trout, especially. A lot of people use it only for trout, but also good for bass, panfish, pike, walleye, that type. My number 4 is going to be stick bait Senko. More people know it by. So yeah, you got the Yum Senko, which is the main brand. You got the Yum Dinger. You got these are just some ones I found in the mystery tackle box of mine. Excite baits. Brand doesn't matter too much. Stick baits are great no matter what. Obviously, the Yamasenkos are going to be great. The Yum Dingers are great. But these Excite baits, especially, they're also great. But basically, what a stick bait is, Mike does not like these. Senko, right? This right here is a Yum Dinger stick bait. And the reason I love it so much is because it's just so versatile. You can use it in so many ways. It comes in so many sizes and colors. You can Texas rig it, you can wacky rig it, you Ned rig it if you cut it in half or you use a really big Ned rig. There's just so many different ways. I'm not sure if you can Carolina rig it. I think you might be able to. But yeah, there's just so many ways you can rig it. This is a wacky rig. I like my wacky rigs. Yeah, so many different ways to rig it, and that's great because maybe if they're not hitting on the Texas rig, you go to the wacky rig. If they're not hitting on that, you go to the Ned rig and so forth. But yeah, they're great bass machines. Bit of a bigger bait, so not the greatest for if you're going for panfish, but it's like the number 1 catcher for bass. Walleye and pike would probably also go after it. I personally have not caught any walleye. I've not caught too many because I have caught some, but I have not caught too many walleye pike on it, mainly for bass. But great in general. Bass sling machine, stick bait.
All right.
And ways to rig it. I already talked about ways to rig it. But my favorite, I'm going to go with the wacky rig. The Texas rig. Mike did not like his Texas rig. But, Texas rig's great. Wacky rig I like a lot too. And you could go with the specified Ned rig, but you can also use those perfectly for Ned rigs. That's me, the number 4. Let's go on to number 3.
All right.
For number 3, surprisingly, we have the same thing.
I can't believe that.
I guess we'll just be talking about it together as a whole. But Mike and I have the Rapala jerkbait. Okay, so this is kind of a highly debated subject on what the name of this thing is. Some people just call it the Rapala floating minnow, jerkbait, crankbait. There isn't really a group to what's the word?
Describe it?
Yeah, describe it.
Or its definition, but
yeah.
Yeah, for all my years, I just would call it my Rapala.
So on this little box here, it says it's a jerkbait. So, there are obviously bigger jerkbaits like the X-Rap, but I'm just going to call it the Rapala jerkbait. That's what I've got here. Rapala jerkbait. These are great. You saw in our video where we switched baits for a day. I had one of these and I caught that bass on it. I caught a lot of bass on it actually. But these things are great. The smaller you go, the more fish you'll catch. Obviously, mainly for bass, but as you go smaller, you get mini ones. Like Mike's got a little bit of a smaller one here. I've got a kind of skinnier, longer one. You will catch the panfish on it. I have caught some bigger panfish on these. Best, I would say, on this second to best or best. So arguably the best multi-species. You can catch practically anything on here. Anything that resembles a lone, injured, or just slow, small minnow. Bass, panfish, walleye, pike, maybe even a muskie. Other things, bigger trout. If you get this kind of resembles right here. I'll show you. This kind of resembles a little trout. If you get a huge trout, they will actually hit on these little Rapalas.
Yeah, I'd say what I like about this one is the color. It's the golden black minnow. So I depicted that on here on the whiteboard.
They come in all types of colors. They come in rattle.
Shapes and sizes, and this is probably, I've probably got 30% of my tackle are Rapala jerk baits or minnows, but this one here does this job.
Just like I've got one in here. This is an actual Rapala X-Rap jerk bait. You know, bigger. This would be great for pike. Not sure. Haven't used it too much. Might be on the list next year, so I'm not going to include it with that. I'm not going to call it an X-Rap jerk bait, but this is just going to be a kind of like micro jerk bait. These are great.
And this will actually lead into my number 2 go-to lure. So
also, you can get like these little. You can get them in so many different sizes. You can get them in different depths. You know, you can get some that dive down. You can get some that stay on the top water. So very great overall. Yeah.
All right,
that's really all I gotta say.
Number 2.
Guess we're going to number 2.
All right, counting down to number 2. I've got my jointed Rapala minnow.
And I kind of got a toss up. Pretty much same bait, pretty similar, but they do have their different uses. So I'm gonna put them both at number 2. We've got the grub tail and the twirl tail. This is my marker. Twirl / grub tail. All right, so I'll let Mike talk first about his Rapala jointed minnow, silver black.
Yeah, I do like my colors, right? So as number 2, I've had a lot of northern height hits on the jointed Rapala.
Some Northern Heights.
And the color that I had most success is the black and silver. So I like the action of the having it jointed, and it's just a lot of fun to fish with.
Yeah, a little bit more enticing for summer for some fish such as bass, pike. You know, the regular bait will look good in the water, but when it does that extra action, you know, it might entice those fish to bite. That's just a bit more. But I got these little twirl tails and these grub tails. So here, I'll bring them. Yeah, I got some in here actually. So I got the packaging just to show what brands I like to use, and I actually have some right here. If I can get it out. I like this color. I have 2 colors. I have the pink head and the green clear body. I like the pink and white combo. So this is the twirl tail, and what's nice about the twirl tail versus the grub tail, the twirl tail already comes as a whole jig head with the twirl tail, so you buy it and you tie it on, you're good to go. And this is a grub tail, so as you can see, quite similar. But the grub tail, usually you'll just throw on a jig head on it and then call it a day, you're ready to tie it up. But one difference is the differences in sizes. So these little twirl tails will usually come in the same size because these things are great crappie destroyers. You know, these are great for panfish. You want to catch panfish all day. I use these all day to catch panfish. Bluegill, crappie, perch, these will be number 1 for that. Bass will go after it. So you're usually going to be catching some bass and some panfish. Some bigger fish might go after it, but that's mainly what you're going to be catching. What's nice about the grub tail is like we got this one here. You're going to catch some panfish on it. The twirl tail catches more panfish. But this is going to catch you more bass because it's bigger. It's got a better action in the water. And then like you have this right here. You have these color changing baits. It just says that on there. They're a little bit smaller. You can actually get these are walleye grubs. So depending, you can get bigger sizes depending on what fish you're targeting. So if I want to go for bass, I'm just going to get regular little grub tails. But also you can get these, brighter colors, bigger and better action for walleye. So a lot more versatile depending on what you want. Personally, what I like to use these for, if I'm going for crappie, perch, bluegill, maybe some bass, I'm going to go with these twirl tails of the perfect size. If I'm going for bass, walleye, pike, I'm going to try to pull out these grub tails, maybe some of the bigger ones. So yeah, that's kind of what I use them for and when I would use them. But yeah, also these baits are, I forgot to mention, they're good for year round. So maybe like these aren't just our number 1 for summer or fall. These will work all year long. And that's going to be it for number 2. Should we go to number 1?
Let's do it.
Here it is. the number 1 lure of 2025. Our favorite, statistical, best, most fun. Well, I guess we'll just go at the same time here. This is a category which is a shad type, so you can know you got a lot of different. I'm gonna give some good brands here, but I'm just gonna go with shad, baby shad. That's gonna be my number 1.
All right, and my number 1, when I'm done using live bait, is this weedless spoon.
Mike likes to keep using live bait because he is mainly a live bait fisherman, but this year he has went to a little bit more artificial, so that's why he's excited to give this list. But here are some brands I got. Like, these are Pro Striker baits. These are baby shad, 2-inch. They're green and blue. Got this from Mystery Tackle Box. These are great. Itty bitty slab hunters, itty bitty baby shads also work great. These are kind of like shad, smaller. And then we got some Guggen Squad snacky swimmers, also great. And then this is a Bobby Garland baby shad, blue and white. The winner of 2025 for me. My side is weedless spoon, yellowtail.
And I will say, yes, I've had a lot of success with not only bass, northern, perch, walleye. You have the big hook here, and then in this yellow tail, you've got a little baby hook. So, yeah, this is probably the first lure I grab out of the tackle box. I'm done with live.
That's going to be the same thing for me. First lure I grab is going to be this baby shad, you know. Great for really everything. Panfish, destroyer, crappie, perch, panfish, or well, bluegill, bass as well, also very great. Walleye too, occasionally they will come up and hit this thing. And, well, I shouldn't say occasionally because they do often come after this, but occasionally pike will also hit this too.
All right.
I mean, it's just great overall. You know, you're just going to put it on a jig head. You can do slow retrieve, fast retrieve. It's just, there's not too much for me to say to it. I mean, it's great. It'll just catch everything, and it's just, look at the action.
Well, the other thing I like about
action.
the spoon is when the fish jump on it, there's only one hook to take off. Those treble hooks, I mean, those are successful. Sometimes you'll get 2 or 3 hooks and a little bit of a battle to get those off.
So yeah, top 5 lures, best statistical, most fun. Go with the baby shad. Don't go with the spoon.
Remember, yellowtail.
I didn't put the color up here because I don't think the color matters too much. I do think that color matters a lot for situation and where you're going, but a specific color does not really stand out to me. So that's going to be our list for 2025. Let's go to our closure.
All right.
So in review, my list is going to be paddle tails, stick baits, that's Senko, Rapala jerk bait, or just Rapala floating minnow, twirl tail / grub tail, and finally the baby shad. Mike's list is?
My list, the crankbait rattler. Number 5, inline spinner.
Number 4.
Number 4, the single Rapala jerkbait. Number 2 is the jointed minnow Rapala. And coming in number 1, weedless spoon, yellowtail. And
also a little disclaimer as we end here. This is mainly for multi-species, you know. We can make lists for just walleye specifically, trout specifically. Also most of these, except for like the spinner, usually the micro crankbait, most of these are not for trout. If you want a separate video for trout, I know trout is a big loophole you can go, or not loophole, a rabbit hole you can go down beside other fishing. You know, you got fishing, then trout fishing. We have not tried fly fishing. We do plan in the future, so we're probably not going to do a fly fishing lure list. But we could do one for gear fishing, a trout, maybe walleye particular, bass particular. So make sure you comment down if you want to see that. But those are going to be our top 5 multi-species lures of 2025. Comment down your list below. You know, let's hear your top 5 lures that you've used this year. And yeah, any final notes, Mike?
maybe we even do one of top 5 live bait.
Top 5 live bait. Worm. All right. Well, yeah, I think that's going to be the video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And good luck fishing.
Have adventures.
Have adventures.